Well, first of all, I want to echo the thanks to Joyce White for all the work that she did in preparing the slides which you've been seeing out there. And you're going to see most of them here. There'll be a few different ones that you haven't seen out there. But I hope you enjoy them, and I hope this thing works. Okay, here we go. This is March 1959, and as you can see, Emmanuel had a minister, but had no name and had no building. This is the 1961 United Church Women's Executive, and I'll identify them starting just going along the back row. On the left is Pat Gilbert, then Isla Lettingham. And many of you will know some of these people. Most of them are not names known to me, but there are certainly one or more, two exceptions to that. So next to Isla Lettingham is Betty Jameson, then Margaret Lawson, Gladys Ray, Theo Warner, Gwen McCormick, and on the end, Muriel Ireland. And then seated, someone who I was very much looking forward to hearing this morning, Joan Stevenson. And Grace Third, Ivy Fraser, Lois Bardwell, Ruth Johnson, and Barbara Reed. Now you've had a chance to see this picture of the turning of the sod. And fortunately, the information we have, I can tell you that this is Mary Jane Ireland, along with Don Bardwell. And in the background, you can see Ivy Fraser as one of the people who is looking on. The thing that struck me, and probably you as well, is where are all the buildings? You know, we're out in a pasture here. The vision that the people had that a church would be established and thrive here is really quite astounding. I'm not going to try to identify all the people here, but on the end you can see Don Bardwell, and I think that that's Reverend Dr. Waite who is beside him. And the man holding the spade is Art Taylor, and apparently the spade from this, unfortunately, has disappeared, and I don't think Art's name has been connected with the disappearance of the spade, though. (1962), just a drawing. But it began to materialize. And finally, the laying of the cornerstone. I'm wondering if anyone can identify the people who are with Don Bardwell in this picture. I wasn't able. Okay. Then, in 1962, the building was opened. Looks pretty good. This will bring back some memories for a lot of people. The sanctuary. These were Sunday school teachers in 1962. On the left is Ann Squire, then Doreen Humphrey, Joy McKim, and Rona Ridgway, and Judy Barr. This is a picture that's already been referred to. Wilbur Howard with a couple of the junior choir members. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the young lady on the right is Joan Campbell, the daughter of Don and Helen Campbell. I don't know that anyone knows the identity of the other little girl. I don't know the date of this picture, but there are a lot of familiar faces in this one, and I'm sure that you'll enjoy having a look at the picture out in the narthex when this comes up. Actually, I don't think this one is in the slides in the narthex. This is one that I had in my archives. So now moving on to 1979. Here at the 20th anniversary party are Sheila MacLeod, Ken McClement, Tom McClement, and Piper Reed McKim. Did I say the wrong name? Tom McLeod. Did I not say Tom? My notes say Tom. Okay, at the same party, Wilbur Howard and Jean Lamb. And one of the things that struck me this morning with the difficulties that we were having with microphones and projections and having a mouse that didn't work back there and so forth is we didn't have any difficulty technologically wise regarding the hymns that were to be sung. No buttons to push. This is Rod. Rod and Ann McLeod in our multi-purpose sanctuary. The 1980 seniors class. And we'll go along starting on the left with the back row. That's Dave Langner. Yes, with hair. Rob Kelk, Karen Hammondred, Sheila McLeod, Jill Whitman, and the young man is Don Hamilton. Then in the front row, Rob Filipkowski, Paul Langner, Maura McLeod. Behind Maura, Greg Squires. And then next to him, Jamie Hamilton, Valerie Hamilton, Heather Martin, and that's Ed Langner. (1981). We have a new minister, and here Malcolm Collins is introducing Chuck Spicer and his wife Karen and their children, David and Allison. The 1981 junior class, the teachers for the class were Nyla Garrett, Valerie Hamilton, and Margaret Armstrong. In 1982, we had a breakfast club at Emmanuel, and here Catherine English is helping a young cook at the breakfast club. 1983, breaking the ground ceremony for our new sanctuary. And the people, Chuck Spicer, in front of Chuck is Edith Aylesworth, then Sharon Moon, Trevor Whitlam, Adele Francis, and Charles Hackland. Seeing this picture, I can't help but think back to the times that we had to carry Edith up the stairs in her wheelchair for services in and out. And I can't help wondering what it must have felt like for Edith to be carried up in this way. They sure were looking forward to having an accessible sanctuary.
Ron, you missed Patty Needham.
Who is it?
Patty Needham. In between Adele and Chuck. Patty.
Okay.
Patty Needham. Patty Needham.
Patty Neen, I'm told. That's one name I had not. Okay. This is at the dedication of the new sanctuary on September 9th, 1984. You'll recognize probably Julie Henderson, Hugh McKinnon, and Chuck Spicer. Does anyone know the name of this other young lady? I don't recognize her. It's September 9th, 1984, and voila, here it is. So now moving on to our 30th anniversary in 1989. From the left is David Smith, Patty Neen, Marg Neen, Christy Smith, Sasha Barassa, Tyson McCarthy, Andy Melson, Ivy Shibahara, Chris Lamb, and Sotaro Shibahara. Also at the 30th anniversary, Barbara Amundwood, Gordon Amundwood, Francis Reed, Ivy Fraser, Larry Reed, and Ralph Fraser. Again, at our 30th anniversary celebration, Jim Lamb and John Strachan, seen here entertaining Gwen Triantuk and Anne Rounding. A happy man. Behind Bill Squire is Anne Montgomery, Ken McClymont, and I think that's probably Wayne Montgomery as well. A baptism, the Page family baptism in 1993, with Bill Smith, Nancy Page, Leon Page, Lisa Page, and baby Heather. Another baptism, 1997, the Langner family, Bill Smith, Lynn Langner, Michael Langner, David Langner, and baby Nicholas. Christmas Eve, 1997, at Eastbrook. This was their last Christmas Eve prior to amalgamation with Emmanuel in 1999. And again, that last service on Christmas Eve, 1997. The decades move on. At our 40th anniversary, here is Larry Reed with Bob and Joan Halliday. The organizers of the event, the anniversary, were Shirley Monson-Bratton, Ann Squire, and Sue Hackland. And gathered for our 40th anniversary, some founding and early members. So I'll go through these slowly so that you can try to identify them as I read them. I'd be using the pointer, except that when I try using it, it tends to do this, which is not very helpful. So in the back row, Nev Haggins, Sue Hackland, Alf Bolton, Rod McLeod, Charles Watts, Art McKnight, and Ralph Fraser. In the middle row, Mary Haggins, Ann Taylor, B. Woods, Norma McKnight, Joyce Watt, and Joan Stevenson. And then in the front row, Ann Squire, Vi Bolton, Hildy Reynolds, Ann McLeod, Marg Garrett, Peggy Reed, Madeline Lewis, Mabel Burton, and Lottie Orton. Here we can see Christine Williams holding onto the chair to make sure that Ted doesn't fall off. Oh, technology. That's on. Can you advance this thing by any chance? Okay, here we have Alf Bolton, Gwen Trentiuk, and Rod McLeod. Next. Patty Kavsik and myself at our 40th anniversary visioning exercise. Next. Still in 1999, young adults Kim Perkins, Heather Perkins, Willa Montgomery, Ryan Smith, and Laura Montgomery. Next. With 2000 came our 41st anniversary, as well as a new century. Here we have Wendy McCracken, Jim Lamb, Catherine English, Chris Roth, Valerie Coleman, Charlie Hiles, Rod McLeod, Bart Bullard, and Heather Page in front. Next. In 2003, Lee was recognized for her 25 years as choir director. Here we see Bill Smith, Lee Langner, and Graham Campbell, and Christine Williams looking on in the background. Next. Also in 2003, I think it was the Wolf and Poof song that was presented that evening. Terry Henderson, myself, and John Jones. Next. Thank you for our contribution, Lee. Moving to our 50th anniversary. Next. Here are some founding members at our 50th anniversary. Mary MacDonald, Joan Stevenson, B. Woods, Mabel Burton, Earl Mather, Audrey Mather, Bill Squire, Ann Squire, and Hildy Reynolds with Peter Lougheed. Next. It didn't always look this bad. Here, the kitchen is in the process of preparation for demolition. Next. Just a reminder that we were building for the future and traveled elsewhere, including to St. Aidan's for our services. Next, this is the east wall in January 2011. And next to the north wall in June of the same year. Next, 2012, we helped Jean MacDonald celebrate a special birthday party. And you'll see her in her full glory with her balloons out in the narthex. Next, the ribbon cutting ceremony, and members of the congregation include, in the center, Peter Lougheed, then Ann Squire, Gord Hodges, Heather Perkins, and Bill Meek, with Tom Kahneman applauding at the doorway. The next one, we have in 2013 a very special anniversary, the 70th anniversary of Ann and Bill Squire, and here we see Dorothy and Renee Perron helping them to celebrate this special occasion. Next. In 2014, following the 2013 amalgamation, the Wesley Cornerstones and Time Capsule came to Emmanuel. And next, we see around the table people viewing the contents of the Wesley Time Capsule. Beginning on the left, Doris Smith, then someone I couldn't identify, Cy Chapman, another one I couldn't identify, and Carol Scott doing the serving. Then over on the right, seated, is George McClellan, and in the front of him is Marilyn McClellan. Then, in 2018, our newest member, Ernest Vinson, with Irene Baker. Next, and as the slide says, to be continued.